Hello everybody, and good news, my chair is working again. Anyway, this video is all about a question that I'm asked a lot, which is what's the best photography accessory? And it's a question that I've put a lot of thought into over the past week or two. I've considered a camera strap that I've had for a long time and I love, really robust camera strap. I've considered different lights that I've used over the years. And I've even started revisiting some of the invention ideas that I've had for photography accessories. Hello mate, quick question. Did I ever talk to you about a camera accessory idea I had, which was like a flamethrower that sat on top of the camera, sort of connected by a hot shoe? No, doesn't ring any bells. But could you make a memory card that when you pour water on it, becomes a laptop? You couldn't. Yeah, not great, to be honest. But after some careful consideration and lots of hard work, I have found the best photography accessory. In fact, I've made the best photography accessory, and well, it's this. It's James Popsys 2018, the book. Now I hear you're saying, James, that's a book, that's not an accessory. Is it though? I think it is. I think it's a very, very good accessory. Let me explain. It's definitely the spookiest woods I've ever been to. Now the first feature of interest, I think, to other photographers about this book is that, well, you may have noticed that pretty much all successful photography YouTubers have a dog. So when they go out, they've got some company, they've got something to get out of the house for other than photography, they've got a subject, a ready-made subject of something that's quite cute and adorable, and therefore it's perfect for likes and comments. I don't have a dog, at least until now. Come here, don't be shy. He gets a bit shy around new people. This is my new dog. I've named him 170 GSM, which is it's the paperweight in the book. I thought it really rolled off the tongue. It's quite kind of romantic. We're just in the training phase at the moment, and he's doing quite well. He's quite obedient, I'd say. Sit, stay, and sit again. And I just feel like we're really starting to bond. You know, he gets me out the house. We have to go for walks twice a day, obviously, and just having the responsibility of something to look after is just incredible. So yeah, that's the first benefit, I'd say, of this book, is that it's actually also a dog. Also, it's quite a good hat, so if it's raining like it is now, you can just put this on your head and straight away, immediately, you've got a dry solution for around about 15 minutes. After that, it becomes slightly less effective. It's also quite a good seat, you know, when you're out on days of wet ground and you need a rest, you can just use it as a nice dry seat. Again, much like the hat, it's only really effective for about 15 minutes and then it's no good. Also, another discovery I've made since getting this book, which is a draft, is that, well, I've drawn an arrow in the back with the letter N above it, and I've discovered that if you always point that arrow north, it'll always take you north. So in other words, this is a compass, which is particularly helpful on days like this when you find yourself in a wood, lost. Genuinely. So yeah, north. Right, so what I've very ingeniously done here is I've turned the book into a potential little mouse house, or a vole house, or a butterfly house, or something. And in my extensive knowledge and experience of wildlife photography, I estimate that within just 2 months there could be something living in there. So I'm just going to sit tight for about 60 days or so and stay quiet, and hopefully within that time there'll be an animal of some description living in there. It's all very exciting. One potential problem is I only have enough water and food for about 2 hours. No, this is a rubbish lens hood. It doesn't work as a lens hood. I have just remembered though that there are some white pages in this book which can be used for help with setting exposure. In hindsight, I probably should have put a grey page in so that could help with white balance. In fact, I'll do that. In the finished one, I will put a grey page in. That'd be good. I gave up on the wildlife thing because I haven't got lunch. And last but not least, if you're out in the wilderness and things get tricky, you're out of supplies, maybe you're cold, you can use this book as firewood. It works very well for that, so that's what I'm going to do
right now?
I'm joking. Obviously, I'd never light a fire in a place like this. That would be completely irresponsible. No! And I discovered yesterday while eating my lunch that it's a very good plate as well. Of course, though, the main purpose of this set of pages is to work normally as a book. And in this book, I have basically got a collection of my favourite images from 2018, from last year, from all over the world where I travelled, along with some words that I've written to accompany those photos to explain a bit about the location and my process and all that kind of stuff. And I'd had this idea for a good while. I'm going to do this every year, and hopefully in future years they won't be shipping in May, as this one will be. They'll be shipping in January or just before Christmas. But there are a couple of reasons that this one will be shipping in May. First of which is I'm still not completely happy with it. I've still got some changes to make. This is just a draft. And the second reason is that I'm travelling an awful lot between now and then. So signing pre-orders, which I'm going to do, and shipping would be quite difficult with me being out of the country. So yeah, this will be shipping from the first week of May. So depending on where you are in the world, you should have it by middle of May if you've ordered one before then. And yeah, as I say, the idea is to do one of these every year, and hopefully you'll find it insightful, interesting, entertaining, and useful for your own work, particularly because it's going to have a compass in it. Now, one of the most important things I need to say is that this format for a book may look familiar, particularly if you watch Sean Tucker's videos or have bought Sean Tucker's books. So, this is my book. This is Sean's book. And in format, at least, they look pretty much exactly the same, and there's a reason they look exactly the same. So last summer, when I first had the idea of doing this book, a collection of images from each year along with some kind of stories and words about those images, I reached out to Sean because I saw that he was doing something similar. And basically, I can't remember what I wrote to him, but something along the lines of, do you have any advice on the process? And there are two kinds of photographers I find, in my experience, with this kind of thing. The kind who will protect things like their locations and their creative process and how they put books and calendars together, all that kind of stuff. And the kind of photographers like Sean who go out of their way to share really, really useful advice. So in this case, Sean basically said, let's have a Skype chat. And over the course of about an hour, he told me pretty much everything he'd learned about the process of getting his book published, which was invaluable. It would have taken me so long to work out how to come up with something like this and how to make it viable economically, all that kind of stuff, without Sean's advice. It was really, really, really appreciated. So if you like Sean's work, please go and check out his book as well. Link is in the description. And the reason that I've chosen the same format as Sean is that it turns out that Sean put a lot of thought into this, and he's quite a clever guy, and he found a book size which works brilliantly for both prints and also for shipping costs, which was important to me because I didn't want this to become like a coffee table book, like a $100, £80 coffee table book. I wanted this to be like more of a scrapbook that people chip in for every year, and therefore that supports the channel. So if you buy one of these, it'll basically help fund the next one. So it'll help pay for trips to go and get the stories and the photos that will appear in the next one. So yeah, who knows what this will look like in sort of 5 or 10 years time, but the plan is to go with these for a long, long time, or for as long as I possibly can. And yeah, it'll be fun to be able to look back at years, I think, and see what I did in 2018 and 2019 and 2020, and you get the idea. Anyway, so yeah, that's the book. Link in my description. You can pre-order it, as I said. All pre-orders will be signed, and they'll be sent out in the first week of May, so hopefully you should have your copy by mid-May. I really, really appreciate the support. I wouldn't be doing this and doing what I'm doing with my life, basically, if it wasn't for you. And so I'm hugely appreciative of your time and watching these videos, and your support with things like this and prints and everything else. So yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Hopefully you come back. And hopefully by then I still have a working chair. See you later. Quite often when I meet new people at weddings and stuff, they'll ask what I do, and I'll say I'm a photographer. But the truth is that I make videos about books being dogs. I think if I said that though, I probably wouldn't make many friends at weddings.